Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Roliver Queen. We are back for another edition of Row Vision. And as always, I'm joined by my lovely, scrumptious, delicious, sexy, and handsome homeboys. AJ, please once again reintroduce yourself.
Hey everybody, good to be back on the channel. As always, I am AJ, and it is a very special day. Our boy Roliver Queen is back where he should
Yo,
be, having a book come out monthly. So uh excited to talk about it. This first issue.
yeah, man. So we, like I just said to AJ, 4 years, man. We waited 4 motherfucking years for Green Arrow to come back.
hmm
It's and there were a lot of hurdles in that 4 years.
That's putting it lightly.
Because we were supposed to have a book right after the last one ended, and that turned into what a Vet Leviathan, which
hmm
led really didn't lead into anything, and then we had to wait 3 years after that for Checkmate, and that barely did anything, and then you got him
Hey
in
man,
Justice League.
that's what happens when you hire a big time writer and you're paying them a ton of money. So you let them do whatever they want to do, no matter what any plans anyone else may have. But we here, so we're not going to dwell too much on the negative.
Yeah. We here, man. So and also we got some other guests coming in. We got one here who's just trying to work some things out with getting inside. And we do have another one as well, Shaq. But we know technical difficulties, and they're both fathers, so you know how that go. But yeah, hopefully they could
Absolutely.
join us. But yeah, so issue one. By the way, guys, we're going full spoiler. Full spoiler. AJ, what'd you think, man?
Good, solid issue. We kind of recements Oliver Queen, and it's doing new things, but also kind of treading familiar grounds for people who either like us, who have been waiting for years for Green Arrow to come back in a monthly book, or for folks who are new, may not have read much Green Arrow before, may have only watched the show or something. So kind of giving you the Cliff Notes version of Oliver's backstory. Few changes here and there, but nothing super major. Introducing, reintroducing, I should say, members of his family. Obviously, you have Roy, the former, um, current Arsenal, former Red Arrow, former Speedy. Then we get into Connor Hawk, also Green Arrow, Oliver's, I guess we can call it it's illegitimate
Illegitimate.
son, and of course the goat, the best female DC has to offer, Dinah Laurel Lance, as the Black Canary. You can't have a Green Arrow story without Black Canary, no matter how much the CW tries to convince you otherwise. Um, yeah, it is what it is. So we got, they reestablished those three characters as well as their relationship to Oliver. It shows he's Oliver reflecting on some things back in through his past, and him waking up thinking he's on a beat deserted island again. Kind of throws him for a loop when he sees not so much an island, looks like somewhere else, maybe a planet or whatnot. That one spread where he realizes everything that's going on.
Mhm.
Um, the artist Sean, I don't want to butcher his last name. Give me a sec.
Ikakuse? Yeah, I think that's what
Okay,
it.
we'll go with
Yeah.
that. That brother is a fan of video games. I'm seeing iconography from Halo, from Destiny, from The Last of Us. Just yeah. So I saw some little Easter eggs you threw in there. So good throwing up your nerd credentials, brother. Um, but yeah, no, this was a good fun book. Oh, also the big one. I can't believe I overlooked that. You get the reunion between Leon and Roy, Cheshire Cat, as she's going by these days. Roy, that's kind of been his big thing ever since he was brought back to life after the events of Heroes in Crisis, and he found out his daughter was alive. Really haven't seen too much of that. Those been plot. That's been a plot thread since what, Infinite Frontier. That's never really
Yeah.
been touched on, and now it was today, so that was good to see. All in all, man, this was just a really solid, strong issue. Can't can't wait to see where it's gonna go next month. Um, the reunion with Leon was short lived, obviously, and she gets transferred to where Ollie is. Couple things. One, we get the Manhunters back in a book. Haven't seen
Mm-hmm.
him in a while too much, so that was good to see. But also, it looks like we might be seeing some time displacement shenanigans going on because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of this book, you got Oliver beard done grown out,
Yeah.
hair looking a little rough. So I'm wondering how time moves there. If there's going to be a situation where he's only been gone a few months in the main universe, but wherever he has, years have passed. So I'm wondering
Mm-hmm.
if we're gonna get some of that. Looks like he's got some new tech up his sleeves. That bow for one, that drawstring. I'm looking at it right now. Is yeah, that's not a typical drawstring. It's all glowy and shit. Then the new hotness arrow, the chainsaw arrow.
Yup.
That was a cool little moment. But all in all, good solid book. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I know I've been talking spoilers and stuff, but it is something that happens on the last page. We can get into that a little later. Let the folks hear your thoughts on the first issue.
Yeah. First issue, it did the job for me, brother. I don't know. Williamson was mainly talking about how this is really for the hardcore fans, but I feel like any regular person could just jump in. They don't go. They give you just enough for you to just jump in, like especially if you're
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's fresh. But if you're somebody who's really been paying attention to Ollie, like we have, like this is just extra for us. It's just like a nice refresher, and it jumps
Yeah.
in the story. It doesn't spend too much time trying to reintroduce everybody. Everybody gets a panel. Oh, this is Roy. This is Connor. This is Nina. This is Cheshire. Boom, we in. I really do
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. And the reunion between Leanne and Roy, that hit me hard, man. Like I'll be honest, when I jumped into Green Arrow, the series, it was in Rebirth, and I think during that time, they they barely no, they didn't even touch on that. Any little
No,
time
it
Roy
didn't.
was there, he I forgot she was a thing.
Yeah,
But
it was more about his beef with Oliver than anything else.
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that was like an editorial decision or if because the show was out at the same time, they just wanted to stay with the core cast. But even as somebody who didn't know too much about their history, Roy and Leanne, that shit hit me hard because again, I've been following this from Infinite Frontier. Like you can tell, hey, bro, he's trying to look for his daughter, he's trying to look for his kid, and they've tried so hard to push that story in other books, but for whatever reason it didn't work out. But I'm happy that happened. That was very heartwarming. I was in bed reading that shit first thing in the morning, and I was like, oh, like they hit me right here, bro. It hit me right here. So
Right.
I'm happy we got that. It was bittersweet because right away she was taken away.
Yeah.
But what else? I like this new direction they're going in with the story. It looks like Amanda Waller is up to her shenanigans. So that's
As always.
definitely going to be important later on down the line. For the series, Green Arrow for the longest time, like they've attempted to integrate him into the greater DCU. I know the last time there was a big push for that was No Justice, and then
Mm-hmm.
before his last ongoing got canceled, there were plans for that story to branch out even more, but we never got that. Um, but I'm happy they did that for you, boy. What else? Other than that, art and colors was popping. Sean Ikakse was doing his thing. I don't know if he also did the colors also, but shout out to the colorist if I'm forgetting your name. But honestly, this was a great first issue. I just wish it was a little bit longer. I felt like we got in and then we got out. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that was on purpose because again, up until this morning, this was only going to be 6 issues. We got to touch
Yeah.
on that also. As of a couple hours ago, This is extended to 12 issues. So congratulations, everybody who pre-ordered, everybody who did the work. Listen, talking and bitching and moaning on Twitter about how Batman this, Batman that, it doesn't get the job done. Going to your fucking comic book shop and saying, hey, I want this book, and actually picking it up when the book comes out, that's how you get more. That's how it rewarded. Like, and I think this is the quickest time we've ever seen an extension, because I think we didn't
I'm gonna
find.
be honest. Oh,
No,
nah,
no,
I
no,
was
go,
just
go
gonna
ahead, go
say,
ahead.
um, I think the extension happened a while ago. I think,
Mm,
like you say, Twitter is not gonna move the needle on books getting extended or not. It has to show people are buying them. But
mm-hmm,
I think them pre-order numbers came in high. I really do. So I think
mm-hmm,
I think I think this has probably been extended for, I'd say maybe Williamson is known for probably at least a month. I'd say probably closer to
mm,
about 3 months, because that's when that first issue would have went up for pre-order. So
yeah,
they know the numbers that they're looking at. They probably wanted to see what the pre-order numbers would look like for issue 2 if they were
mm-hmm,
somewhat comparable to 1, and I'm guessing they probably are. So hopefully that's a good sign. But it's looking like we're on that Poison Ivy track and Swamp Thing
yeah,
track. You start out, it's like, hey, we're gonna give you 6 issues. They come back, oh, hey, we're bumping it up to 12, or with Swamp Thing, I think it was 10. And
mm-hmm,
then another extension. Swamp Thing only ended up getting 6 more, but I think that was more Ram V's decision. And then Poison Ivy, after the extension of 12, she got the bump up to just straight up ongoing. So
mm-hmm,
uh, so far we seem to be on that track, but
yeah, because
got to keep. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we didn't find out about Poison Ivy and Swamp Thing until like later in their runs,
Yeah, yeah.
but this was like immediate. Like I don't think I've seen a
hmm
turnaround like that ever, at least in this new wave of books.
Yeah, nah, this was quick, like really. So that's what I say. I think the numbers came in really strong, probably stronger than what they were suspecting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now part of that is you can tell Williamson, he's enthusiastic about this series in his interviews. Like he's always hyping up his work, but this, watching interviews about his Green Arrow, seems like that's the most excited I've heard him in a
Yeah,
while. So I think the readership was kind of able to tell, and like, you know what, all right, I'm gonna throw a couple dollars at this, at least get
yeah,
that first issue, and see what he's talking about. So the support, it seems to be strong enough so far. We just got to keep it going, which ain't gonna be a problem on my end. I think I went a little overboard on that first issue. I should, by the time I get home, hopefully some of my copies will be in, my physical copies will be in. But yeah, so um yeah, I mean, it's good to see. I'm just happy for my boy. Green Arrow deserves a monthly. His last one was sold well. I think it could have ended once Percy stepped off the book, but it still sold
yeah,
decently after he left. It was kind of Bendis coming and saying, "Hey, I want to use Green Arrow." That kind of derailed that book, and we've been in limbo ever since. So it was a good return to form today. I'm happy.
yeah, man. And I think if I remember reading an interview, well, listening to an interview, I think it was with Word Balloon. So allegedly, bro, they were trying to get a Green Arrow book off the
Yeah.
ground for years,
hmm
which is insane to me, because it's like it's almost like common knowledge, right? Because you should always have a Green Arrow book, but
Right.
I don't
It's
know
especially
what
coming
was
off
going
the
on.
coming off the success of the show. I understand that around that time Bendis was still there. I think that was toward the end of what he was doing. But I mean, you got Ollie, which is smart because he's about to pop up again, and as the Flash closes things out,
Yep.
it's like, man, come on, like feed off of that. That's free hype right there. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
advertising. That's hype. You don't have to pay for. You don't have to market to somebody. It just builds off something that you already have going organically. So yeah, have him a book out there. Obviously, he's not one of the original 7, but Green Arrow is he's a heavy. He like top of the B listers, maybe even A minus lister, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
call it that. Like my man should have a book or at least a mini going pretty much at all times. You know, we've seen this in the last couple years with DC. I understand because of mergers and restructures, and editorials gotten hit. So everybody who maybe should have had a book hasn't been able to have one at the moment. But you can tell they're spending money at DC again.
Mm-hmm.
For as much shit as people, myself included, give Zaslav, he is investing over there. They just look at some of the talent they've brought in over the past year.
Yeah.
As far as writers go, as far as some people being promoted to like group editors and stuff from editing like
Mm-hmm.
single books and stuff. They spending money over there, and a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff has been in the works for a while. We're just now starting to see it. So yeah, this like I said, this is a great day. This is a great day. I know this is a Green Arrow show, but also we got the news today that now Blue Beetle's getting an
Let's
ongoing
go.
off of graduation day. So like I said, DC they are investing in heat right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anytime a merger happens and you got layoffs and stuff, you got to go through a lean period. But now this is the other. They're coming out on the other side of it, and they're ready to turn up.
Hey man, listen, this is the most diverse the line has looked in. I want to say since 2016, bro. Even if in Frontier, I didn't see there was a little bit life, but it wasn't hitting like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they coming out the woodwork, like the characters that people have wanted to see. Now DC is putting the time and the money towards them. And listen, all we have one job, guys. Just buy the books. That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's it. That's all you have to do. Just go buy the books. Like, come on, man. I'm happy, but today's really a good day, bro. Because I can see us extending to a full blown ongoing. Because like even before we got the extension, Homie said he already had 12 issues written and planned. So it
Yeah.
was just a matter of us
Mm-hmm.
just like showing up. So, and I think that's probably why maybe the first 6 issues they're just gonna be short like the first one was, because again they were initially planning for, okay, let's just get these quick, let's just get the story out there, let's push these characters, let's place them where we need to place them, and then boom, we can move on from there. But now we get in 12. All right, man. Now let's really cook. Let's really cook. Let's really
I
cook.
I hope so, but see that's the thing. Green Arrow is one of their 3.99 books, so those typically, they just gonna give you 21, 22, maybe up to 24 pages of story. Like I would pay $1 more if I can get like the detective or action comics page length. Like I have
Yeah.
no issue doing that. But I understand. They are clearly in there testing the waters phase. Some people might not have had the confidence behind Green Arrow that we did. So hopefully they see after this, like you said, and maybe hey, up the price of the book $1, throw 10 more pages in there. Um, I don't think you'd get too many complaints. You might not get people buying as
Yeah.
many
No.
variant covers, but just go to a $4.99 book, 10 more pages of story. I think you'd be cooking with gas. More
Oh
so, I
man.
should
Yeah.
say, than you already are.
Yeah. Because I was just like it happened because again, well, I was reading digitally, so
Yeah.
maybe it'll be a different read when I actually get my physical copy. But man, when I was flipping through, it felt like a whole bro, like felt like 5 minutes went by.
Yeah, that's how
So,
it is. And the thing with digital, I mean with physical, they stuff all the ads in the books in between
yeah,
pages and
that's
shit. So
right.
that kind of fills it out. Whereas with digital, you might get a page of ad at the ends, and that's it. And I don't even think, yeah, because I read this digitally too, since I'm can't get to my shops or have my mail in order. So yeah, like the last page is just of the Williamson interview that ran last week in a lot of books about
Mm-hmm.
this run. And then you had an advertisement for Batman 900, and then your Donna DC roadmap, or what if that's what they're calling it.
Checklist,
That's
I think. Yeah.
yeah, checklist. Thank you. That's about it. So You got 21 pages of story. Hell, even if you don't charge $1 or more, just use those. Take 2 of those pages you're devoting to ads, throw
We
those in
good,
as
bro.
story
We good.
pages. Yeah, and
We fucking good.
you're good to
Yeah,
go.
but yeah, I'm super pleased with this one, man, and like I'm interested in where it could go, and I hope after like the 6 or 12 issues, we get. I need the family back in Seattle, bro. Like I'm
Yeah,
right now, I'm okay with them, intermingling with the DCU and doing all that shit and just getting this main story out. And I know for the first 6 issues, the core thing is reunion, family.
hmm
That's great. Let's get this cybernetic stuff out the way because I need my street level heroes back. It's been
yeah,
way too long, bro. It's been way too
yeah,
long. Like you can still intermingle them with the DCU. That's totally fine. But I think Green Arrow fans, we need them back in Seattle. Like, bro, Seattle has been unprotected for a while now.
yeah,
So
yeah. In the DCU, absolutely. I'm gonna be honest. I'll go one further. Um, Canary and Leon, they should really be the only ones ever in Gotham City, bro. Like
yeah.
Canary, that's her home. She's from there, so hey, go for it. Leanne, that's where she's been operating the last few years. But Roy, unless he hanging out with Jason or whatever, which I don't need too much of that right now, unless it's something like that, or Connor and Damian chopping it up. Unless it's something like that, the rest of them don't need to be in Gotham, bro. Like, and I'm a Batman fan. So, you never hear me talking about too much Batman, blase, blase. But this was planned initially as 6 issues, so we don't need to spend the time really bringing in outside
Nope.
characters. We already said, hey, we're going to be spending a lot of time reuniting the Arrow family. Cool. So that's obviously going to take up a lot of real estate. We don't
Mm-hmm.
need outside stuff. I'm sure Williamson can handle it well if he did go that route, but I just don't need it. Um, so yeah, this was a good building block today. Just keep on from here, and like you said, get them back in Seattle, get them back in Star
Mm-hmm.
City, whichever one they're gonna be going by these days, and yeah, let's cook from there. Um, also give me, I mean, obviously we're gonna get more Oliver because hello, it's a Green Arrow book, but if there was any complaint of this one issue, and it's not even a complaint, it's a nitpick, because
Mm-hmm.
this had a lot of necessary setup. It wasn't a ton of Oliver in the
Yeah.
present, right? You got the moment where he wakes up, and then everything else is pretty much him recounting the past or introducing his family, and then very end, we see him and it's fast forwarding to he's back wherever he is, and like we say, time has passed, so we don't know what's going on with him. So yeah, going forward, you know, it's like I said, it's a nitpick. Williamson, he's a good writer. I'm sure he'll touch on all of that. But yeah, let me know what my boy's been up to.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, though, I don't think there's. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get to it, but it's just like to be fair though, like I would rather. There's not. Oliver really hasn't been up to much. Like that's. I,
No.
I guess that's the only pushback I can give because it's like, what after his ongoing, he was on a team a team that was in the shadows, and then he
hmm
was in the Justice League. We seen him what happened with him in Dark Crisis. Like I think right now, if the only thing I kind of want to see him do is just like reestablish himself as like a family man. Like now he has to be a father, like a
Right.
legit father. Now he needs to, he needs to be a husband because before he died, I don't know if folk remember, but in Death Metal, he was getting ready to propose to old girl.
Yeah.
So like let's see him really establish himself as a family man, and let's dude he still has to make peace with Roy being back. We got Diggle. We remember Diggle's supposed to be back in the
hmm
mix. So like I need him to be like the patriarch of the family again. Like I think that's the nice step forward because I think they've tried so many things with him in the past couple of years and none of it has stuck. And I do actually kind of find it kind of funny how like nobody's mentioning Event Leviathan or Checkmate. Like everybody's brushing over that, but that's another story. um,
Yeah, very another story. I'm gonna tell. I think folks were kind of salty about a lot of that stuff that went down.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, let's focus on him just being the main patriarch of the family, and then just reestablishing Star City. Because again, like what happened with Queen Industries?
Yeah.
Who has been checking? Who's been looking after that? Like,
Uh, damn, what was my man's name? With that last run, he was kind of was that wasn't Henry. Jesus,
oh no,
I can't.
Henry
I'm
fell
gonna have to
off
go
the
back and run it.
map.
What's that?
Henry fell off the map after Percy.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
really did.
we haven't seen Henry.
But he was kind of moving up in the company, kind of. I like he was like Oliver's man on the inside, kind of spying on
Yeah,
things for him. I want to see, what has come from that. But yeah, like you say, it's like after Percy, nobody really had a con- concrete plan. They were kind of it was stuff here and there, but for the most part, folks were winging it with Ollie. And I get it. Percy told his story that he wanted to tell, and then he was out. But it's like, hey, y'all really didn't plan for whoever was going to come next, huh?
I
So,
think if I remember correctly, it was almost there was a weird period. I'm pretty sure you remember this also. Like we just had a bunch of writers coming in and out, and they
mhm.
abruptly left the book. Like I
Yeah,
remember we had the Benson sisters. The Benson sisters were excited. They wrote
yeah,
that
because
amazing.
they were supposed to be carrying on from like issue what, like 50 onward or something.
No,
Like,
so it was so after Percy, we had like maybe one or two fill-ins, and then we
hmm
had the Benson sisters who hopped on at issue 45. They're the ones who wrote the Heroes
okay,
in
45.
Crisis tie-in, and then they wrote two more issues after that, and then they got kicked off the book. Like it sounded like they got the boot. Then Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly came in, and then they had a whole plan. It was like, okay, well, let's get the ball moving, and then Bendis came in and said, "Hey, bro,
Right.
I need him." And then whatever plans Colin Kelly and Lanson had in store, Didio said, "Yeah, hey, bro, fuck it all." And then here we are. Like
hmm
they had the keys. Like we could have kept going, but I don't know. And then it sucks because again, Bendis didn't really do anything to him. And again, it's gotten to a point where now where even before this, people were just like, people was like, "Oh, Green Arrow and Black Canary, they're nothing." That's what the streets were saying. I watched the
hmm
live streams. I seen the tweet. Oh, it's nothing. So now this is the time to rebuild. Like after the 6 issues or the 12, let's rebuild. Like let's rebuild. Like honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing him take a crack at the Justice League again. Personally, let's do it right this time.
I think if you put any of them on the league, I think it'll probably be Dinah. She is a co-founder. I think a lot of people tend to forget that. Um, you throw her on the league because already she's gonna be sharing a lot of page space with the rest of the Arrow family and Green Arrow,
Mm-hmm.
and like she needs something. Like I'm not one of them people who are like, oh, get us so and so a book, blah blah blah. Nah, you got to prove that the sales can be there. So I say, hey, put her in something else, build her up while at the same time having her in Green Arrow. I think that's probably the way to do it. Also, you tend to need more ladies on the Justice League. Like most runs are going to give you Wonder Woman and that's about it. Every
Mm,
now and then we'll get a run with they'll add in, oh, Hawk Girl's on this run, and that's the one thing Bendis did. Bendis had like 3 ladies on his team, like that.
mm.
You don't get that often with the Justice League lineup these days. So that was a decent. No, hell, I think he might have had 4. Yeah, because Naomi was on that team
Naomi,
too.
yep. And
Yeah, so
Hippolyta.
yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You had Hippolyta, Hawk Girl, Canary, Naomi. Yeah, that's 4. You don't see that much with a league lineup these days. But yeah, I wouldn't me saying I want Dinah to be the one owner. That's not saying I don't think Ollie has a place on the league. I absolutely do. I just think if we're gonna be, setting him up as the family man, as the guy,
Yeah.
hey, I got to be there for my kids. I got to be there for my family. I don't know if we need him all facing otherworldly threats every
Yeah.
month with the league, especially once he's just gonna be getting back.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. Yeah.
yeah, so he's got some lost time to make up for, I think.
Yeah, that's true. And also to it looks like you know, I know I have this image up here. It's just like it's half of it. But yeah, it looks like he gonna have his hands full because it
Hmm.
looks like was it what is it
Yeah,
um
onomatopoeia,
automatopoeia
um,
brick.
Peacemaker, Brick. Who else? I don't have that image up in front of me.
I know we did a couple more.
Merlin.
Oh yeah, Merle. Can we talk about how Merlin has just been like a fucking a hired gunman in so many books ever since
Yeah,
the ongoing has
I mean,
ended?
ever since, they're really playing into his League of Assassins ties. Like yeah, that's been part of his history, but he was never like as in depth with them as he has been the last few years. Like you talk about Shadow War,
Mm-hmm.
hell, a couple other things where he's shown up with them. But yeah, so I think they're going to be building him back up, the Dark Archer back up,
Yeah.
because he kind of got a resurgence of popularity with the TV show. So I
Mm-hmm.
could I could definitely see them having him give Oliver some problems once he's back on Earth, and that'd be a good run, good something to explore, good avenue to explore Archer versus Archer. We haven't all you ain't had just a simple story like that in a while, so
Yeah.
I think
It's
that could be a
yeah,
good ground to explore.
and yeah. Then it just goes back to I need street level. Like that's one of the
Hmm.
reasons. Despite how you know shaky the book had been post Percy, like I'm happy it's still stuck with that street level stuff. I think, and that's one of the main reasons why I like the No Justice stuff, because he had every right to be pissed at the league. It was like, dude, you
Yeah.
guys went off world. I was the only fucking one that was here. The only one. I was like, I like that. I need that dude back. I know that's like a bad thing to say. I miss social justice Ollie. Like, this is the one
Hmm.
time where quote unquote social justice in comic books actually works. Give me that back too.
I mean, folks are so scared to go that angle with him, especially now. With politics being such a shit show, folks get really scared to go that route with Ollie. But nah, you know, give me, hey man, social programs for the downtrodden, Ollie. Like all the shit that folks say that swear up and down that Bruce Wayne doesn't do with his wealth, even though he absolutely does. Oliver been doing that. If
Yep.
y'all, pay attention to the boy over on the West Coast, and you can get all the social justice, all of that you want, and helping the poor, the helping what mental health issues with folks, all of that. He touches on all of that, bro. And he's also not afraid to um, give shit to everybody else in DC. So that'd be a good avenue to play with him. We haven't seen that in a while.
Hold on. Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's good, yo? My bad. I got caught up in work trying to close out and get out of here.
Nah, it's all good. So yeah, give us your thoughts. What you think about Green Arrow #1, man?
Me myself, it's probably the best Dom DC book that I've read personally for myself.
Okay.
Granted that I came back to DC back in '08. Uh, so during that time, I think the next year, Cry for Justice happened. So to see the story come full circle finally, with Flashpoint interrupting, New 52 interrupting, we finally getting some resolution to at least some of it for Leanne's situation and Roy. I remember when Leanne died in the comics, so it's a big moment. So I think personally, it hit every single moment. It was easily accessible. The dialogue was great. It had ramifications early on. I think we're on to something pretty good.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
I can't sing his praises. I can't sing his praises even more than that.
Yeah, see, yeah, it sounds like we all on the same page, man. It sounds like we're on the same page, and that's another thing too. I hope we don't lose sight of like Roy and Leanne and those relationships also, and Connor too, because I feel like we so focused on Ollie, but we got all the other characters. Like, bro, what has Diggle been doing? Like the last time we saw Diggle, he went off with Merlin, and that was it. Like, what's he been doing? Like, again, that's why I hope again these 6 to 12 issues. Like, I hope we really get. I like the core film, but what about everybody else? So that's what I want to see too.
There's so many like Green Arrow plot holes. Like if you go back to that one particular arc right after the Outsiders War, where they had the Merlin crossover. Merlin came to town for a little bit, and they reintroduced Mia Durin and Felicity. We never got a resolution to like what Merlin this was. Was this the Merlin that was more so based on Tommy from the show, or was this Merlin from traditional Merlin? All right, we never got a resolution to that. Yeah, man, I trust Joshua Williamson when it comes to these kind of stories. He did the same thing with the Flash. He's been very persistent in saying this is about family. This is about getting the entire Arrow family under one window and one umbrella. And I think you can't pick and choose. You can't just focus on one side of the family. You got to have Diggle. Yeah. Diggle's too important to build those now. And DC's on their diversity kick, so Diggle needs to at least on some, affirmative action. Got to have a little bit of some screen time. But nah, man, I liked it a lot, man. Like I can't. It was really a highlight. Like that and Doom Patrol has really been the highlight so far to me. Because even me being a Batman guy, I'm even a little kind of like on the fence about Chip's run right now. For getting off track a little bit, but like Green Arrow, that was my fix, man. Like that scene with me being a new girl dad, like man.
Ooh, that's
bro.
right.
Like,
that's right.
Bro, so you just don't understand. Like I'm sitting here reading this, like my wife's like, bro, she's asleep. And I'm like, nah, bro, you don't understand, bro. Like that's Leanne, dog. Like last time I saw her, like Roy was killing cats in the alleyway, bro. Like you tripping. Like we've come so far, and I'm like, man. And like I used to bitch kind of about. I'm sorry about cursing. About
you're good, bro.
About Leanne kind of being Selena's like protege. Because I miss Katrina Falcone. I miss Catgirl personally. Mm-hmm. But I was like, at this point, I kind of like it. I kind of like Shoes. So like to the point to where I'm gonna go back and catch up with Catwoman because I didn't really read that Alleytown arc very much, except when Batman showed up and got, he had to see his bitch getting, banged up. But besides that, I haven't read too much of Catwoman, so I want to catch up with Leanne's been going on. So I'm here, man. I'm invested.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Once Ram V left Catwoman, that entire arc, like they just dropped it completely. So like read what Ram did with her, and then after that, once Ram leaves, that's it. They dropped it. They dropped it.
Definitely will. But yeah, man, I'm invested, bro. Like this is one like that Blue Beetle. Like I said this the other day. I gotta rearrange my pull list, man. Like DC's killing me over the
Yo.
So I gotta, I even said I gotta double back and get another copy of Green Arrow, and I don't even do that for Batman. You know what I'm saying? I don't even do that for Batman. So, but there's a cover I want. I got the one with the whole family, but I want just the Ollie solo cover. I need that. So, yeah, man, I'm excited, bro. Like I'm really excited for this. What this story entails, how they're gonna entail it, bro. Like, I don't know, man. It's gonna be cool. I don't know, man. I'm excited. I know you got to be riding the high, bro. Like you've been waiting for this patiently for a couple months now.
Years, bro. Listen. Let me tell you something. Once they hit 12 a.m. last night. No, 12 a.m. this morning, boy, I was jumping up and down my room, and the edible hit. Whoo!
Okay.
Listen, bro, I was like, yo, it's really here, bro. It's here, like Green Arrow #1, like it's here, like.
Phase 1 is already done. It got extended to like 12 series, 12 issues.
12, bro. It's
got to get it to an ongoing, bro. I think by them doing that tells you they're onto something. Like the editorial staff knows they have a good story. So I think at the end of the day, once they get past this first arc, and I think Green Arrow is going to be the hub for everything going on with the Light and Amanda Waller. So I was thinking about that, kind of like I was thinking about like Tom King's run on Wonder Woman, and I was like, the Light has to come into play, and I think Peacemaker is going to be on the ground on Green Arrow's side, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking like Tom King has always said he doesn't have like a really good Wonder Woman story, and the bad guy doesn't really seem that compelling as of what we know about them as like a strike force unit or whatever. But I think what is going to be more so impactful is going to change Diana's status quo as in like the universe at large, her being an outlaw, kind of like when Hal Jordan was on when he didn't have his ring and he had the gauntlet, the backpack. I think we're going to see Wonder Woman resort back to it being her on the island, away from man's world, and still being the protector. I think that's going to be like King's art, his angle, like more so than the bad guy. Because why are you honking your horn at me, bro? Do I have a fuck you honking your horn, bro? Oh, I have a flat. Do I have a fucking flat?
Bro, no way.
No, I don't think I don't think so. If so, we'll find out when I get home or when I start boom, 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 boom. But,
hey, be safe, dog.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I think it's a flat. I don't know. Find out, bro.
Oh shit.
But nah, man, I don't know. I think this Amanda Waller free comic book day is next weekend, so I think we find out pretty soon what's kind of going on. So I think that's gonna be a big important book for everybody to get for like all of the big titles. So
yeah, because what was I gonna say? And I think it's cool because like I said, I was just telling AJ like I need the book to go back to being street level. I think having the Peacemakers there, it kind of brings it back to the street. Like it brings it back to kind of like some citywide thing instead of it just like being multiversal like sci-fi. Like I said, I don't mind this current story. I get it, but if we're gonna do Green Arrow like back in the DCU, I think the Peacemakers, I think that's gonna bring us back to the street, and I like that. I think those are two good people, and I keep forgetting about the Light. So I'm interested about that also. But yeah, I know this is supposed to be the hub for the DCU, but again, we can have that. Like I just need the family to be reestablished first, or we can have both. We can reestablish the family, and we can have DCU shit. So I don't mind having my cake in it too, personally.
Hey, I think I said, man, like I don't think Josh wasted a single like dialogue bubble. Like every bubble was like impactful, bro. Like every page was turning. So if they keep that same vibe, I like what DC's doing. They're finally getting creative teams all the way around from writer to artist that all kind of meld with the character. Like Blue Beetle, like even the Green Arrow title, Doom Patrol. These titles, it seems like everybody's like the entire creative team is balanced. Like they're all clicking on the same thing, bro. And we haven't had that feeling in so long, bro. Like, when I mean, me, at least for me, since like from somebody who got back in from pre-2010, like ever since New 52, we haven't had like the feeling of some of those books like that came right before Flashpoint happened, and I don't know, like this feels good for me. Like I feel like I haven't bitched about a comic book in weeks now. So like,
same.
So I don't know, man. Like I read that. That's the first thing I read before I went to the gym, and I was like, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read it digitally. I'm gonna get my copy for this before I go to work. I read it and I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm pumped now. I'm ready to go work out now. I was like, yeah. But man, hey, that's gonna be a good series, bro.
Hold on, we got a comment here. Red Kyle said, and also thank you to all you guys who in the chat. He said, I think we'll be back in the street after this arc. Also, the Roy and Leanne moment was Barry and Wally rebirth vibes. Hey, bro.
Yeah, I feel that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I 100% agree.
I think that next reunion between like maybe him and Connor and him and Roy is gonna be big too. So because he hasn't seen Roy, because we haven't seen him interact. Because remember, all he had is like his little monologue speech during Death Metal. So he's talking to himself about his guilt for Roy and typical Ollie shit. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm excited, bro. Like that's the book. Like I'm not even excited for like Batman anymore, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'll concede and say until Batman has his hand back, I don't know. I'm kind of upset with Chip right now. So Green Arrow is giving me my smiles lately, bro. So
yeah, that Batman. I don't know. I think Batman gonna be fine once we get to 900 because I honestly think Chip has been wasting time until Dawn of DC, and then now he can really cook. So hopefully that's the case. If things don't get better post 900, then I'm dropping that shit. That's fine. I got Green Arrow again. I don't need Batman, but I would like to have both. I would like to
definitely. Cause like I don't know, like I wasn't the biggest fan of, what's this shit called? Failsafe.
Failsafe.
I got it. The reason I didn't like it at first is because I was like, how's Batman taking these hits from a fucking android, right? With no compulse. But they cleaned it up like one of the last few issues when they said like, oh, he's not built to kill, and I was like, oh yeah, clean that shit up then, because nobody said why he was pulling his punches at all. But like this entire arc, and you know what I'm saying? Like, like, damn, Bruce jaw should be off his body by now. You know what I mean? Just kind of
listen. He should have been dead 3 times over.
Not even gonna talk about that dropping from Moon shit. Not even gonna bring that up.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
But I mean, it was a cool moment. But I mean, it's cool for us to talk about to like the King Lions of the world, something like that. That be like hating on Batman. But I'm like, hey man, I can't even make this make sense in my head. Even though he did a damn good job. I'm like, man, that's a little much, don't you think? But nah, man, I think DC's in a good place, bro. They're in a really good place. I said this in a tweet. I don't think nobody really saw it, but like, comic books have been in a really good place, the last year or so, bro. Like, I don't think but for the most part, both the big two have been putting out some quality. Like Daredevil's still going tomorrow.
Hold on. Yo, I think we might be losing. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I realize what the issue is. I just gotta plug in this damn Ethernet cord. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second.
You're good, bro. Yeah, man.
All right. We are good again. All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Yeah, we good. Yeah, but what we saying, brother?
Nah, man, I was just saying, like, the media has been in pretty good shape in the last few years. I mean, the last year or so, the titles, I think the 6-issue, 5-issue miniseries structure is really working for DC.
Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, we got AJ back, and we are all right. Yeah, we good. All right, brother. You were saying?
Yeah, no. I was just saying how, like, I think this new structure with the 5-issue miniseries and the 6-issue miniseries is really working for DC, especially for some of our B and low 8 tier characters.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle has a series now. You know, it worked for Supergirl. It worked for her Maxi series. It's working. It's so far. It's like going to work for Green Arrow. So I think that's something we're going to see a lot more of. I remember I heard it on like the iFanboy podcast. They were talking about how, you know, we're going away from the 12-issue Maxi series or the six-issue run and doing these 5 and 4 issues story structures. And I'm like, you know, you know, me being kind of an old schoolist, I kind of like, I don't like my 6 and 12 issues, but it's working for some of these titles, bro. Like, it's keeping the quality and the focus on, you know, the story, you know, more contained. So
yeah, and I think that's what, and I appreciate that, because I think what we were getting away from is that a lot of people, well, maybe even creative teams, they got a little bit comfortable with just giving people fluff, like just giving people fluff, and then they're not really focusing on the story. And because maybe they know they have an ongoing series, they can kind of stretch for as long as they need to before they decide, oh, I have a story idea. No, like with the 6 or 4 or 5 issue maxi series, you're focusing on the story. You don't have any room for fluff. Like, while I did give a complaint that this felt a little bit too short, but at the same time it was focused. Green Arrow needed focus. Blue Beetle, yes, you have some low moments here, but it's very focused. Supergirl, focused. And I think, and this is great because not only does it makes the creative teams get in line. It makes them get in line also. And then also at the same time, also, like, readers, they feel like, okay, I'm buying something monthly and I'm getting something for my buck instead of, oh, it's filler. Like, let's keep it a fat stack. Nightwing is the perfect example of I don't want to use the word shit, but it's the perfect example of what you're not supposed to do with an ongoing, right? Because it's like there's so much fluff in between where it's just like, okay, bro, we know you're just bullshit because this book is selling well, and you can just throw any nonsense out there because people are gonna buy it. Versus a Green Arrow or a Supergirl.
But I also don't even, like, honestly, I don't even read Nightwing like a regular Nightwing, typical Nightwing run. So I'm reading this run when I do, like, because I take breaks from them because some of the stories I don't even like care for, right? Some of the mini arcs in it, I'm like, bro, like, this is nothing. It looks pretty to look at, but I'll read something sometimes and not even remember what I read, and it's like, but I'm reading this more so like the Matt Fraction Hawkeye run. Like, this is a funny book. It's a fun book. It's a pretty book to look at. But I don't think this is a game-changing moment for Nightwing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm debating on what book I'm going to buy. Am I buying Titans or am I buying Nightwing? Because somebody's about to take a cut. I think I'm going to go Titans because it's the time Titans are the Justice League right now. So I think, just for historical fact, I think I'm going to go that way and I'll drop Nightwing. So, but I mean, and that's me, and it's from a guy who buys Nightwing every month. I can't tell you the last time I picked the book up. I'm buying it just out of pure loyalty.
Yeah, it's
so. I'm not lying. I'm lying. I read the last issue because it had something to do with Jezebel Jet.
Isn't he like some he's some new character now? Like some I don't know what the name. I seen it floating around the timeline. He got some new costume or some shit. I don't know. But he had to dip out. But yeah, again, we need more focused stories, and this is it. This is a good example of a focused story. Like, and honestly speaking, I may get shit for saying this, but I wouldn't be mad if we got 6 issues for Green Arrow, and then they took a break and then gave us another 6, and then gave us another 6, as long as it's focused. But thank God now it's extended and possibly going to be an ongoing, and everything's going to be focused. So I don't mind it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all.
Yeah. I think the extension is the way to go, because one thing I have seen where you do like the mini, then it ends, then you give them another mini, and then it ends. Like, what is it? To give an example out of Marvel, Silk. They this Marvel doesn't always do the strategy. They just do kind of the stealth cancellation.
Mm,
Whereas they've been for like this is like the third year in a row they've been doing this with Silk, and they'll come out with a mini. They'll announce it as a mini. They'll come out with it, and then boom, okay, that is done. Fine, whatever you think, that's it. Then like a year later, like, oh no, we're still continuing that story. So we put out another mini with that. Okay, cool, you're continuing the story. Now we have to wait a year again. That's what happens. Like not committing to it because I can't even say it sales wise because Marvel has had plenty of books that have sold worse that have hit the ongoing routes. I don't know what the strategy is behind that book, but I think sometimes if you're gonna do a mini, just have a mini be your 6 issues. They would contain story and that's it. Because expecting people to keep coming back months or years at a time later, that's not gonna work. So I'm glad to see
mm,
this one getting extended early out because, like I said, you know, expecting people to keep up with a storyline now, what 6 issues at a time, and we're hitting 3 years now. Yeah, I'm reading it because I'm a fan, but if you're getting just the casuals and stuff, nobody's gonna stick around that long.
yeah.
It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, because at that point you're kind of just forcing people to just like trade with it.
Right.
Yeah, okay, I see it from that standpoint, and again, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expect even way back when even before Green Arrow, like for the idea of a book getting extended during its run, I never thought of that. I just thought, oh yeah, they have a set story, they're just gonna put it out. So the fact that we're seeing these extensions throughout the run is cool. And like I said,
Yeah.
I like it. It's nice. And again, it shows, man, like, hey, you really want you really want these characters to stick around, just like show up. And again, the creative team's got to do their point too. So yeah, man,
Hmm.
it's dope. It's really dope. And I hope, you know, I hope at the end of this, I know Williamson said he's not looking to do a 50 issue run, but I hope if he stays on for maybe 20 or maybe or at least 12, I hope the next person that comes on after this, they keep the same energy. Like, I don't want it to be another situation with the last ongoing where again we had a premier writer get on the book and then after that it's somebody else that comes on and then all the energy is disrupted. Like, if I this motherfucker better be vetting people right now, bro.
Yeah.
Vet, 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 vet,
I
vet,
think
vet.
I think that with them seeing how strong it is selling, well, first it's going to come down to you know how Williamson can navigate with everything on his plate because he is doing a lot for DC right now. If he feels like he can manage it, I think they'll say, "All right, let's ride this wave." If not, then yeah, I would be looking at for who's going to take the book on from issues, 13 on, or maybe he stays till 18. Who knows? But anyway, I would have my next writer lined up right now. Like okay, we got the news of the extension. Like I said, we're just getting that news today. It more than likely came through a month or so ago, maybe two. Um, yeah, they need to because Williamson does have a bit of a track record of leaving books because he's got so much going on. They need to be looking for a new writer now. At least here, at least need to be taking pitches from people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we're not guaranteeing you that you're going to get this book, but hey, let's hear your pitch. Let's hear your pitch. What would you do with, let's say we gave you 12 issues. Let's say we give you 18 issues of Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
What would your plan be for the next year and a half of this character? Let's hear it. You can, whether that's somebody already in the company or folks on the outside, I don't know, but I think they're going to realize pretty quickly that they've got something good on their hands, and
Yeah.
so they're going to need to come up with a plan to continue it going forward.
So
But
I mean, let's have that conversation then. Who do you think would
okay.
be a suitable successor?
Inside the company, hmm,
I have one, and I think it's a safe choice.
Who's that?
I think it's a safe try. I would go with Ram V.
Yeah, I can see it. Because I'm a fan of Ram. I'm really digging his detective. Ram sometimes gets a little big brain for his too big brain for his own good, and I'm just wondering how that can work with Ollie. Like, yeah, it's cool with Batman. It's cool with Swamp Thing. I don't know. I would have to hear his pitch.
The reason why I say V is because I think he did a good job with Catwoman. Because I think he didn't get Ram V didn't get too big brain with Catwoman. He kept it very street level. Yeah, he threw in some like cybernetic stuff here and there, but it fit. And I understand like his big brain on detective is why I'm trade winning. I buy it every month, but I prefer to just collect the issues after like an arc or two and read it in one go. Yeah. But I think V could do well with street level. The other person I think could do a solid job. You know what? That's tough. Actually, I think maybe I'm just looking. I need to look outside the box. Maybe if I let it cook a little more. But yeah, Ram V's would be my choice.
Yeah. Probably number one. Just looking at, we talk about street level. Mariko Tamaki, especially since she, she's not on doing that Green Lantern they were going to have her do. We saw with her detective, she handled street level really well. Especially, the work she did with Huntress, that was like real good stuff. So I could see her. And then too, just with how his street level is, I know his Batman hadn't been for everybody right now. I'm enjoying parts of it. His backup stories are what's really keeping me around. Chip, I look at what he did with that first Daredevil run. Well, the early part of his Daredevil run, since this is all still technically Daredevil, his run. I could see that, and I could dig a lot of that with with his spin on Green Arrow, maybe. But I don't know, man. Him doing Batman, I don't feel like he's gonna have much time for anything else. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I know they don't too much like to retread writers that they've used before, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I could go for another Percy run. It couldn't be a run as long as what he did, but maybe bring Percy back for 10 and 12 issues. I could really go with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Or this one. I mean, that's if he'd be willing to. I wouldn't mind seeing Lemire come back either. I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind it either. I don't. Well, old management isn't there. Maybe it could work. Maybe it could work. But yeah, I got to finish packing, man. So I'm gonna have to bow out on you.
No. It's all. Fuck it. Let's man. It's been an hour. I think this is a good place to end off. Yeah, we got the basics out the way. But yeah, oh, hold on. Yeah, Quay, we about to wrap up. But if you want to, bro, do you have a potential successor for Williamson to do Green Arrow? If you could pick anybody.
God damn it! I don't know if y'all can hear me, but
we can hear you.
Connectivity is. Oh, y'all can? Okay, because I can barely hear y'all.
Yeah.
To catch up, I don't really have an ideal for a creative team, but I do have an ideal for a type of book. I think, maybe Mark Waid. I think Mark Waid should do a Green Arrow book in that same World Finest era.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
I think that'd be a really good addition to that. I think he'll know the voices very well, Mark Waid. I think if anybody, I would put Mark Waid and I know Otto had the weird Russian art thingy going on a few months ago, but Mark Waid and Otto on art, hey, I'm with that.
Okay.
Yeah, Otto kills it with the Green Arrow characters. We've seen that already. I think that was a bigger thing, I think, on Twitter than anything else, because DC's still giving him work. They probably just told him to keep his head down for a few months. So
yeah,
I don't think they'd have a problem with hiring him again.
Yeah, honestly, like Otto is. Oh, go ahead.
Oh
Yeah, we can hear you fine, actually. Yeah, I was gonna say, well, Otto did such a good Green Arrow that when he went off and did that Hawkeye book, I couldn't read it. Hold on, we gotta hold on, give me a second. Yeah, you got us, bro.
Yeah, might as well be, man, because I can't really hear y'all.
Nah, it's all good, bro. I was gonna say, well, Otto, he did such a good Green Arrow book that when he did Hawkeye, I couldn't read that shit past one issue because all I saw was Green Arrow. So I was like, yeah, this ain't it. I can't do it. So I think he'd be
Yeah,
a good choice.
I don't know, man. They gotta do something. If not another Green Arrow title, give me a member of the family. Start like
Mm.
we got all of these Batman titles. We got Batgirls. We got Nightwing. We got Robin. We got Robin versus Batman. We got Batman and Robin. We got Batman Brave and the Bold. Give me long traveling heroes with him and Hal Jordan. Hal's not doing shit right now. You know, give me a Miko and Mia book. You know what I mean? Or you know, Miko and Leanne. Something like give me a Diggle book. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a Diggle book. Give me like fill out that family more. That family. I feel like the same way for Flash. If they focused in on like adding books for the properties that people care about instead of pandering, man, they could make a killing, bro. Like really could. Instead of pandering to Batman fans and just doing a bunch of Batman stuff, like give Green Arrow family some more books. Give Flash family some solo books. Like it's crazy how we don't know nothing about like Cyborg, and now Cyborg has like this is the third Cyborg solo series in maybe like 6 or 7 years, and we still don't know nothing about Vic really. We don't really know nothing about Vic. And I think that's one thing they're getting back to, like we said, that focus. So hopefully.
Yeah, I like that actually. You cooking, brother. You cooking. Because I think if they put some good creative teams on it, or maybe make it like a short, quick story, like we could really once again reestablish this family not only amongst themselves but amongst the DCU. Because it looks like they're really trying to put more focus on like the Green Arrow side of things, and that would be a great way to do it. So do it in the books and do it outside. But yeah, let me just wrap up real quick because I know we all got shit to do. But yeah, AJ, you just want to tell the folk where they can meet you at, brother?
Yeah, as always, I can be found on Twitter at Mr_Mitchell _2_the letter U. I'm there as always, giving hot takes, and yeah, be hyping up this Green Arrow run. We're gonna get it extended to an ongoing, folks.
All right. Quay, go ahead, brother.
Man, I appreciate the invite again, man. I really have nothing to really just, it's always fun. We all get together and talk about this, man. The more frequent we can do this, the better. I think it's good for mental health. I think it's good to talk about these kind of things, get ideas, especially creatively out there. If I could just plug in my Zoop release for my book.
Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, got you.
Right now we are currently sitting at 25 signups. Man, can we get that to like 50?
Okay.
Before we launch officially. I got some really cool stretch rewards, maybe some action figures, some statues, something like that. We have plenty of hoodies and stuff like that for those who sign up early, some exclusive hoodies and t-shirts. Got a plethora of rewards for different tiers. Man, I love what we're doing with our universe. It's funny how we were talking about the mini series and the structure, and I was like, that's one thing that took us forever to figure out just how long we were going to make the book, the inaugural book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking 8, but I don't know, man. I'm just letting the story kind of dictate what comes from. But I'm really confident that everybody will love these characters and kind of see.
Oh, we lost him. Hopefully he'll come back. But yeah, guys, please go check out the link. Or just go check this out. It's I'll put it down there in the description. Event Horizon. So it's about to launch soon. It's a solo series by Homeboy Quay. So please go and support. Listen, I stand by Quay. Quay got some awesome takes, and he's been really passionate about this project. We've seen him really ramping up over the past couple months. So yeah, please go check out the trailer and go check out his Twitter page as well, where he gives you guys some more information on that. And as always, you can find myself, Roliver Queen Reviews. We are at 534 subs. Thank you guys for all the love you guys have shown me over the past couple of days, actually, especially with the Power Ranger stuff. It's just been doing crazy numbers. But yeah, and also you can find me on Twitter, Roliver Queen _. You know the vibes. Booze, comic. Oh, that's all good, bro. Booze, comic books, and Pretty Feet. So go ahead and show us some love. But yeah, thank you guys for checking us out on this live stream. We'll probably be back after like maybe 6 issues or something, see how we feel about this first arc. But I appreciate you, AJ. I appreciate you, Quay, for coming through. Thank you. I love having you guys on here. It's always a great time. But yeah,
no problem, man.
Of course. It's Roliver Queen, it's AJ, and it's Quay, and we are